So I see my future in computer science being trying to get a job. It doesn't even have to be like at a big company, but I think I want to use programming for good and not for, trying to just make money or whatever. Dear Mr. Chapman, I think that your sarcastic sense of humor, along with the intense passive aggressiveness you had in class, made physics, an otherwise difficult class, a lot more bearable. I do not think I would have taken AP Physics 2 if I did not have you as my teacher, and being able to do fun things, such as jumping around instead of doing our light lab in class, made it one of my favorite classes I've ever taken. Your way of teaching just clicked with me, as you would talk to me as if I was a person, not just as if I was a student. I am extremely grateful for all you have done for me, and am very glad to have taken those classes with you. Best regards, Elijah Walker.
I feel like teachers, because I've had amazing teachers, just how important the teacher is specifically to how, students respond to learning and how much they want to learn. Like in 8th grade, I had a really awesome teacher, Miss Bowen, and because of her, I loved learning history, and I realized that teachers can just have such a positive impact on kids and make them realize something they might love that they might never realize because no one showed it to them. Dear Coach White, thank you for being such a fun teacher this year. Every morning is always made a little better when I remember that I get to start it off in your class. You are truly a teacher and person I look up to and will continue to see as a standard for certain aspects of my life. In government, you have shown your openness to the wide variety of views in the world and have shown that to be a properly functioning adult, it's crucial to be both informed and willing to hear all sides, something I will carry with me far into adulthood. I want to thank you for being a teacher I can look up to and hope to influence the type of teacher I will become one day. Thank you so much, Carrie Boss.
Yeah, so I think that the most special thing during my time at Boswell has definitely been my involvement with the Bos Cheer program. Being in that program has really helped me develop my leadership skills a lot and be more comfortable with who I am as a person and really grow into myself. So I'm super thankful for all that our cheer program provides. Dear Mr. Panet, I truly cannot thank you enough for the profound impact that you have had on my life since I first stepped into your class my sophomore year. What I had thought would just be a fun elective soon turned into so much more, and I have you to thank for that. I always loved hearing all of your stories, whether they be about being bodyguard for Speaker of the House in Washington, D.C., or dirt biking through the mountains of Colorado with your buddies. I am so thankful to have had you as my teacher, but I am even more thankful to be able to call you a role model. You are the very best. Sincerely, Hartley Weaver.
Okay, most prominently, I just did swim, and I just really loved being able to see, you can numerically see yourself get better, and I just had, especially in the beginning, a little community, you do better whenever you're, surrounded by people who had the same goal, and so I had that, especially in the beginning. Miss Nash. While our one-on-one conversations and connections have been limited, I knew from early on this school year that you would be the teacher I chose to recognize at the end of the year. From the beginning of the year, I have remarked to my friends and family about my English teacher, Miss Nash. At the beginning of the year, I told them about your very apparent love for what you do. I hold a high regard for the way you present yourself at school. Not once have I witnessed a moment of frustration or fatigue that led me to question the depth of your passion for what you do. The value of your candid statements of admiration and affection at the end of each class are not lost on a single one of your students. I'm beyond appreciative of these statements, but even so, when I hear them, I just think of the people in the class who do not hear that often and may have truly needed to hear that. In the last few years, I have had few teachers who I have felt as comfortable with as I have with you. Thank you, Izzy Longspaw.
So cheer is definitely a good mental game. Obviously, you have people telling you it's not a sport, and that's not something that crosses my mind. So it's just taught me overall camaraderie and just lift people up and be there for one another, because you never know what other people are going through, and you just make good friendships. Dear Miss Trammell, you have been there for me through it all, not just the happy moments, but also some of the hardest moments too. You were there for me when I lost both of my grandparents and all of the other things in between. You never treated me like I was just another student, and you even took me on a college tour, and now I get to be a Red Raider just like you, and I couldn't be happier about that. This gala is about celebrating academic success, but it's also about celebrating the people that made my academic success possible. I truly want to thank you for everything, for every kind word, every moment I have spent with you, and every bit of belief that you have poured into me when I needed it the most. With so much love, Kaylin Rhodes.
and I'm hoping to become a pediatrician, and if not, probably an allergist, because I have really bad allergies and I want to make sure people don't have that problem that I do. Dear Ms. Thomas, thank you. Over the course of my high school career, you have been one of the teachers that has stood out above the rest. On-ramps chemistry, while one of my more challenging classes that I've taken, has always been a class I've looked back on most fondly, in large part to your teaching. You are always there to help in that class. You know how to teach and have fun while doing it. And it was that class that solidified my choice to go into the medical field and become a doctor. So once again, thank you for all that you've done for me and how you've helped me in my future endeavors. And as a side note, the donuts you brought to the Gold Standard meetings always cheered me up on like tough days, so thank you for those. Best regards, Matthew Cardenas.
I'd say the thing that helped me get through high school was definitely band, and especially marching band, where we get to come together many hours, so many hours, before and after school. Definitely an ongoing process, but definitely worth it. Just that extra thing really helped balance out the feeling of community with my education. Dear Mr. Gaz, throughout my educational journey, I have learned about the qualities and actions of a phenomenal teacher. After taking your classes for 2 years, I can say with all the confidence in the world that you're truly one of a kind and have a special way of connecting with your students, including me. I'm lucky I was able to have you as a teacher in Capstone, and I'll miss your familiar catchphrases and attentiveness to my education. Thank you so much for being a wonderful teacher to me, for all your students, and for being an absolute legend. With much gratitude and appreciation, Haley Outman.
I'm pursuing my major operations research because it's like a mix of business and engineering, and I was really stuck between the two because I love math, math makes me happy, and I like business. I like the organized side of it. I'm a very organized, I was born for STEM type of thing. Dear Mrs. Harnish, you truly care for each of your students, a trait that can be seen as clear as day. I hope that your current and future students value the lucky 15-minute class period they get to have with you as much as I did. I was fortunate to have you as a teacher, and I'm so overall grateful for everything you've taught me. Thank you, Ariel Ramos.
Yeah, so I grew up here. I went to Bryson Elementary, and then I went to Wayside, and then I went to Boswell. So I've been here my whole life. And I've gone to all those schools with my twin sister. Dear Miss Gilbreth, looking back on all of the classes I've taken over the years, your class has held a very special place in my heart. I remember sitting in the front row of the class reading Macbeth and thinking, this class is so fun. I don't know how anyone couldn't like this. While Macbeth was definitely interesting, it wasn't reading the story that made me want to come to class. It was the fact that you were my teacher. You made all the long discussions that would normally be boring into something inspiring that made me want to keep discussing and learning more. Thank you for being such a positive influence in my life and for being an amazing teacher. With gratitude, Daniela Outman.
So I was in Boy Scouts. After a long time, I advanced through all the ranks and got my Eagle rank, the Eagle Scout. It was a big honor, and it showed that I did a lot of leadership and service. Dear Ms. Freeman, thank you for being a great teacher for the couple of years I had taken your classes. I remember when you would ask me to answer questions in front of your class, which helped boost my confidence with difficult questions. You helped keep the class from being boring and a pool of discouragement because of how much we all struggled. I'm glad to have had you as my calculus teacher because you motivated me to not give up on the exam. I hope you have a nice retirement and that you remember how much impact you had on my education and my future. Thank you for being you, Jonathan Tucker.